All right, here we go. Back again for the first time. I want to welcome you to the Encounter Podcast. With me, I am Minister Marcus. You can find me and follow me on all social media platforms, on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of the social media, YouTube at underscore Minister Marcus. This is another episode. You are having an encounter with me, Marcus Stewart. Just here to just speak, reach out, talk to uh young brother right here, but also talking to the young men who are viewers of my channel and watchers of the pod. What's up, bro Ham? Happy to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a long
Been a
while,
while,
man.
man.
I don't think
Been a
we did
while.
one since you first got home.
No. We did we did a couple when I first got home. We did a couple when I first got home, and
Yeah.
then we stopped for a long time.
Okay.
It's been a
Well,
while.
you back, man. You wanna remind the people who you are?
Yeah, I mean, I'm DJ Stewart. Not really much there. I sing songs.
Okay. How's how's it being back?
Like on the podcast,
Nah, just like in life, nigga.
man. Like what you mean? Like back home?
Yeah, like you
I've
know
been
what I'm
home.
saying?
I've been home for I've been home for a year now, man.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah,
home
that's
for
what's
a
up.
year now.
That's what's
But
up.
you know, happiest I've ever been, man.
Hmm.
Happiest I've ever been.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you, bro. Nothing beats being able to just have your own space, your own like
Freedom, like
yeah, man.
freedom.
Yeah. Not having to listen to nobody, not have to worry about nobody, not having to answer to nobody but you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
No kind of rules on where I go and what I do.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
me.
Yeah, so look, what that kind of one of the things that I see and hear a lot about is like um men's mental health. Like, is that a thing?
Yeah, yeah, man. Men's mental health is bad. I think now it's like it's recently getting a spike in like acknowledgement. Like people are actually starting to acknowledge it now. But men's mental health is it's one of those things where like a lot of men experience it but don't really talk to people about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
know, I know. I know it has always been a thing, but to just bring it up, it seemed like kind of taboo to talk about.
A
It
little
make
bit.
yeah, it's like dudes be feeling some type of way, but man, I know of a couple of people who the suicide rate, took they self out, bruh. I can't imagine that, bro. I don't
Yeah.
know what have to be going through a person's mind to like, you know,
Man, me either, man. It's I guess it's just a different place in life. Like you got to be at a certain low point to get to that, man. And then also it got to do with like strengths and weaknesses and stuff like
but
that
I
too.
heard it was more prevalent though among men than women. Like
Mm,
more so men are doing that than it is women. And I I can only speculate and say it's just because because men's mental health is like a taboo subject, but dudes be holding stuff in,
mm.
and then women got all these groups. They got all these internet groups and women empowerment and you ain't gotta take that girl and blah blah blah. And it's not really like we don't have no male support system, like we don't have that. So we just gotta like tough it out, man.
Yeah, that's the mindset with a lot of men, man, and that's why men's mental health is so messed up because we conditioned to believe that we just got to tough it out, and
Hmm.
talking about it make us soft, and like having emotions or feelings make us soft as men. But it's it's one of those things that like it's not supposed to be that way, but it's slowly starting to come out of it. I think what I'm starting to notice that like when I see people online talk about men's mental health,
Hmm.
it kind of gets like uh responses that are similar to like, oh, you a pick me, you know what I'm saying? Like you
Oh
just
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I feel like when people speak out about it, I always see comments on like you just want to be special,
Mm-hmm.
you just want to be special, or like you trying to sound soft or trying to be a pick me.
It could probably be something to that though. I think sometimes people be doing stuff just to get the recognition. But I think the bad part about that is because actually people do actually be, some people actually do be dealing with it,
Yeah.
but then at the expense of those people who just do it just for the clout, you know what I'm saying, or just do it so people can be sympathy, have sympathy for 'em. You know, the dudes that really be needing it suffer because of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like dudes need to hear that. Like, you
Yeah.
know, dudes, especially young dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then you
Yeah.
know what? Nobody really tells you this is a true statement, bro. And you can tell me if I'm being too hard, but I don't think nobody is telling like young people like life is hard. Like, I don't think people tell them enough, like, bro, you're gonna get in the real world and people don't care. Like you can wild out, they just gonna take you to jail, bro. Like, don't nobody care. It's like I think some of that it is, you know, some men, or I'm gonna say everybody, but we talking men's mental health. Some men have a lot, but then we are not taught to like expect things to be a challenge. You know what I mean?
Mm. I disagree, man. I feel like those things are being said. I just
Okay.
feel like a lot of the young people ain't really listening to it or like taking heed to it. Cause like when you were a kid, people would say stuff like you can be whatever you want to be,
Yeah.
and like me personally, I've had instances where like I doubted that.
Yeah.
As a kid, I doubted that like you can't really be whatever you want to be, but saying it as an adult, like what I'm saying, like the truth. So I feel like a lot of these things, that's just one example, but I feel like
Right.
other things are being said to younger people, like are being like warned to these younger people,
Yeah,
and
but
younger
it's
people
not
just
it's
not
not
taking it.
like it's not trained in them though. Like it's like okay, you right. So if like I say, yo man, you know, you really gotta grind out here, you gotta hustle out here, like it's a challenge out here, blah blah blah. And the little dude gonna be like, yeah, you know what, you right, but I don't know how to just really get them to see the full extent of that. Like I think that has to do with like I think that has to do with parenting for real. I think like
I
as a
agree.
parent, you don't make stuff so easy, but don't make stuff so hard as the preparation. You know what I'm saying? Like there
Yeah,
needs to be a demand. There needs to be like, you know, you need to have some type of criteria for everything that you do. You know, just I mean, nothing comes for nothing.
I
But
agree.
but
I agree.
without that, you go get to the real world, and then you really will have like a mental breakdown because you just your mind, your mental's not ready. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think that even if you are ready, man, life still do
Yeah.
you
Okay. Yeah.
dirty, you know?
You got a point.
Even if you are taught, like, even if you are prepared for it, life will still hit you in the area where you don't even think it can hit you at.
That's true. Hmm.
That happened with me. I felt like I was very prepared for like the the scariness of life,
Yeah.
and to an extent I really was, but uh I didn't really understand the full extent until I experienced it. So like I was
Mm-hmm.
prepared for these things,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't really prepare myself for how it would actually feel going through it.
You're
Like
right. You can't
like
prepare for
yeah, I had a
that.
statistical approach. Like, all right, I know this type of stuff can come, this type of stuff will come. But I didn't really consider how it would feel to handle it.
You're right.
I know like this is what I'm supposed to do when this happens, but I didn't really consider how hard it would feel
Right.
to to
To
do
do it. Yeah.
yeah, to
So it's
do
like
it with the pain,
the
you know?
the statistics say to handle this way,
Yeah,
but when you're dealing with it, you don't always want to do it the way that you
yeah,
know is gonna work out the right.
yeah.
Yeah, it
There
actually
there are other factors that make it hard to
r-
do those things.
right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I agree with that. I agree with that. And that's why I tell but like especially young people, man, you know, because I run into a whole lot of, well, especially earlier when I was a young dad, you know, everybody had the criticism, everybody got this to say, you shouldn't have did that, you should do this, you shouldn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And then my thing is like, bro, you should be reluctant to give your opinion where you don't have the experience. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Because like it's easy for you to say, oh, do this, oh, do that, oh, do this, oh, do that, when you're not really just, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what it's like to feel the feelings in
Yeah,
in that
yeah.
situation. I was talking to a friend of mine about that like maybe a couple days ago about like parenting, like and some dudes, they be out of their kid life, or like, they have a little gap or they have a little lapse or whatever. I had kids when I was young, but then I mean, yes, of course, there's no excuse, right? But then at the same time, I don't think it's discussed enough like how you feel as a man. Not just your kid gonna feel some type of way, right? Your kid gonna feel pressed, but like you miss some time and you trying to come back, You have feelings as a man about that.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
you be in your head about that. You be nervous, you know, you be scared. And then if your kid is stiff towards you, especially when you first see him, your emotions just be different. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And in
Yeah.
order to do that, man, you got to really overcome a lot of the things. And look, it's not an excuse. It's not giving nobody no pass, right? But it's just to be in that situation is it's not always it's not always the easiest. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just
It's
going
not
back to what you
always
were saying.
yeah, it's not always like a direct it's not always as simple as it is on paper, you
Right.
know.
Right. I think that's what experience is, you know.
Yeah.
Like I try to explain that when I try to explain that because you know I feel like I'm turning into the old man, right? I'm not old man yet. I'm like unk status, but I feel like that's the gap that be missing. Like when I try to talk to certain young people, and I say stuff like you'll understand it when you get older, or you know, I never try to use that as a reason or excuse. I try to explain it, but when I say, "Bro, you probably shouldn't be thinking about no relationship at 16," you know?
Mhm.
You shouldn't because at my age, I know emotions come with that. I know boys be wilding because of that. I know niggas that then got shot and they grown over a girl. So
Yeah.
if it had that kind of effect on a grown man, you as a young dude, I know you want to see it, but like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
you think
Mm.
that's crazy?
Nah, I don't think it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I mean, I get it. I understand. I understand. You have a valid point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I ain't, I'm just speaking. I'm just
Mhm.
speaking on it. Yeah. But I like to talk about parenting when you be on because of course you're my son, and you saw what it was like to be young and have a young dad, and I know I made some mistakes, right? And so I think one of the questions that I had on my paper is like, what do you think about how much does your parent I don't know if I asked you this before, but how much does your parent relationship affect your personal relationship, as you get older?
Mm.
And is there a connection in your mind?
That's a good question. I don't even know if there is a connection. I mean, like a relationship with a parent, I think that that's separate from like the teachings of a parent. I feel like you can be taught things without a strong, like close relationship. I think that like
Oh, yeah, that's good.
the teachings are really the biggest deal. But I think that a relationship with a parent don't really don't really equate to a relationship with people, you know.
Hmm. I think it does. I do. I think it does. I think first relationship we have with a person, the closest relationship you have with a person is your mom and your dad, and I think that does have a lot of effect.
Wow.
Um, well, just okay. So, for example, if a dude has a bad relationship with his mom, you can almost always trace uh, physical abuse. If a man is beating a woman, you can always trace that to his feelings about his mom and the kind of upbringing that he had. Maybe she was abusive, maybe she wasn't there, but when he sees this woman, he loves her. But then when he gets angry, all of the anger that was there is now imprinted onto the person. Like, that's why they encourage a lot of people to get therapy before you get in a relationship. Is that too far fetched? You think?
Nah, I don't think that's too far fetched. I just think that I just think that when you say that, it still points to what I said as far as the teachings of a parent. So
Okay.
like an abusive relationship between a mother and a son is
Hmm.
basically like the mother is not really teaching the son the
Hmm.
right things, even though they don't have a good relationship because of the abuse.
Hmm.
But what's being taught is abuse, and that's the reason. That would be the
Okay.
reason
Yeah.
why.
Okay. When you put it like that, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you
So
put it
I
like
would
that, I
I
get what
would
you're
say
saying.
like as another example, let's say a mother teaches their son good qualities to be a man, but they're
Hmm.
not close. You know what I'm saying? They
Hmm.
they don't talk. I think that this this man would still be able to have good relationships outside of that, even though he's not close with his mother, being taught like good, sound principles.
I could see that. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. I can. I can definitely see that. You know what? That I can say I agree. partially. I can say I agree partially. And then the other part, I kind of agree with what I said earlier. But that's a valid point too. But see, that's one of the reasons why I like having conversations. You know what I'm saying? Especially with
Yeah,
your age group and my age group. I feel like I can always learn from your generation. You know what I'm saying? And of course,
yeah,
y'all can learn from our generation. But I think it's always good to have conversations, not just like this, but about pretty much
yeah.
anything.
About
Because
anything.
yeah, the perspective is just so different. And I'm not the type of dude to just shut it down just because, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. you know, just because you're the age that you are and I'm the age that I am, I know what I'm talking about, and you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, I don't know. I think that's kind of the cop out response. You know what I'm saying? Just because I've been living longer, I know more than you. I don't agree with that. So, but yeah, I think you make a valid point. I think you make a valid point. We ain't that far in, but I think you make a valid point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
that's
yeah.
I think that's valid. So what's up on relationships, man? So we kind of tapped on the whole you know, parent into the relationship, but why do you think
Man,
so many young relationships are failing now, bro?
man, I know why a
People
lot of
break
young
up
relationships are
all the
failing. I know
time.
why, bro. I know why. It's
Why?
'cause people don't know themselves. People don't take the time to really like soul search.
That's one of the main
That's one of the
reasons.
main reasons. It's one of the main reasons. Insecurities come up when they're not really recognized.
hmm
Insecurities come up, like communication skills are not accurate.
hmm
People
hmm
think that they're communicating, but they're really not. Just
hmm
by saying that they mad. A lot of people
hmm
don't really know like the basics of interpersonal relationships.
hmm
Like especially young people. Young people don't really know themselves well enough, and that's why a lot of them break. But it can happen in older relationships too. Like older people, some older people don't really know themselves. At least like don't know
That's true.
things that they don't know the tools to keep a relationship afloat.
hmm
As far
hmm
as communication, as far as like self-evaluation, as far as self-reflection.
hmm
People don't really know these things, and I think that's the main reason why a lot of relationships fail, especially with young people. That's my answer, man. And you see it all the time, man. You see it
hmm
all the time. One person get mad at something and don't know how to have the conversation of like, hey, this upset me,
Right, right,
but they take it out in ways that's like, all right, since you made me mad, I'm gonna make you mad. You
right,
know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
Like,
And then they don't think that that's an immature response.
exactly,
You don't see
exactly.
the immaturity in it. Especially in young people relationships, they don't
Yeah,
know how to just
yeah,
deal with it as it is.
yeah,
And express how they feel,
yeah,
and then it turns into this back and forth, back and forth. But I think that's the reason. That's definitely the reason. And then I think it's also like we was talking earlier, I think it's also like, people jump too quick.
yeah,
This thing that's not supposed to be this thing that's a process that
yeah,
takes time. You jumping into it after 2 months, 3 months, or because we like each other, we like to have sex with each other. You thinking that that's what the relationship is gonna be.
yeah,
But that's
yeah,
just you
yeah,
hit the nail
man.
on the head. I mean, you said that earlier, and I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. It's just how do you get a young person to see that though? Like,
I don't know, man. I think it depends on the person, cause like you could tell anybody anything, and
yeah,
if
but
they,
they ain't gonna listen.
yeah, but some people do. Like some people do receive certain things. Some people take things, but depends on the person. A lot of it is, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like to get somebody to see it, I think it depends on the person. Because with me personally, if I get information that I think is sound, I would take it, and I would take it, and I would at least give it some thought. Even
hmm
if I don't agree with it, I would give it some thought. So
Okay.
like with me, if somebody tell me something, and I'm like, all right, I think that this is sound knowledge at like even a little bit, I'll consider it. I would consider it, but not a lot of people consider it. It's hard to say like what would get somebody to learn something, you know?
Yeah. I try not to make blanket statements, but I sometimes think, you know, when a person, especially young people, their emotions are so loud and strong that even telling them something that's really good wisdom, because you so drawn into the moment by your feelings and emotions, it's hard to that you probably give it some thought, but to actually adhere to it,
Yeah. And
you
then the
know,
thing about teenagers, teenagers, I feel like they got the answers, and start to get a little bit of understanding about the world
and
and
they
think that
know it
they
all.
got the answer.
Yeah. When does teenage end? I know we gonna say 19, but when does that teenage mind, in your opinion, start to like turn a little
I
bit?
mean, the teenage mind, I don't think it's an age group, but I think it's like
Hmm.
certain experiences that changes, like that shifts it.
Hmm. Hmm.
Certain things that I learned would shift it. Cause I know people older than teenage years with a teenage mind. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like some people don't ever grow out of that.
So
You
like
know?
29, and like 29-year-old dude still got the teenage mind.
Yeah. And women.
I agree with that.
And women.
30, 35, you still got the teenage mind.
Yes.
What is the
Yes.
teenage mind, and what do you mean when you like break it down for the audience? What is the teenage
Man.
mind?
it-
What, guys? What is a teenage mind in your opinion?
So in this context, I think the teenage mind is basically like not really knowing the inner workings of yourself, not really being malleable in the sense that like you actually learn from something, you
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
having the mindset of like, all right, I could be wrong here, or like
Mm-hmm.
I
Right,
could
right.
be I could be the issue here, or this could be something that I could actually learn from.
Self-awareness,
Yeah, self-awareness.
strengths and weaknesses.
Self-awareness, man. Self-awareness, that's the biggest thing. Self-awareness.
Yeah, strengths and weaknesses. I would definitely say strengths and weaknesses, because you can know your strengths and be overconfident without paying enough attention to your weaknesses, and
Hmm.
then that kind of make you tilt to one side, which is like, you get the stubborn hard head, and then without no I would say, yeah, strengths and weaknesses. Like, I think you have to know your weaknesses, but also know how far you can fall because of your weaknesses. When you say the self-awareness thing, I be thinking too deep. I be trying not to go too deep.
Like what you mean?
like what I just said, like when you say strengths and weaknesses, I'm thinking like, yeah, because everybody is most people, I like to say everybody, but most people are so overconfident in what their strengths are. And you don't realize, like, like just like in the Bible with David, he had all these great things, man after God's own heart, but that one lust that he didn't never fix
Mhm.
tripped him up at the end. And that one thing caused him to like kind of not even spiral out of control, but just do something that his greatness like plateaued.
Mhm.
And that was one weakness that he just allowed, throughout his life, and then ultimately it made him make a bad decision. So I think it'd be like that. Like, we are conscious and aware of ourselves, but not always aware of our weaknesses either. And that, to
Yeah.
me, that's why I think it's good to have relationships, like people who are around you. Like for me, it's my kids. Y'all point out so many of my weaknesses, and it's good because it's the reflection, like, it's the mirror of me. And of course, y'all love me. And sometimes y'all be tripping, but sometimes
Mhm.
y'all might say something that's accurate, or you say something and it brings to my mind like, dang, okay, you know what? That's good right there. You know what I'm saying? So like, it allows me to see my weaknesses for what they are. Like, man, I gotta be careful of that. I gotta be
Yeah.
cautious, you know what I'm saying?
That's good. But I realize like not everybody's like that, man. I realize you could literally be telling somebody the right thing. You could literally be telling somebody the right thing, and they were rejected for years. They were rejected for years.
Mhm.
They were continually rejected. I
Mm.
know that not everybody is like that. Not everybody receives good information.
I want to say I agree with that, man. I want to say I agree with that. I resolved to be the 5-star man, though. I have resolved to be that, and in order to be that, you have to know the areas that you need to grow. And then sometimes I think is you like that's the hardest part, because sometimes you don't recognize that this is an area that you need to
Yeah,
grow.
yeah,
I think that the biggest issues are the issues that you can't see accurately.
yeah. That's the scariest stuff, man. It's the
And sometimes you
scariest stuff.
can't see you accurately, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know if it's the problem. Like you don't know, you're not aware that it's the problem yet.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's very true.
Yeah.
It's very,
You
very, very
going
true.
downhill without knowing that you're going
Without
downhill.
knowing
That's a
that you
scare.
going,
That's a
man.
scary thing, man. That's a scary
Without
thing.
knowing that you going downhill, bro. That is insane, but that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. I think I think it's good that you can see that as a young man, like how much you can't see. And it's the same when you get my age, you're gonna see, bruh, if you are not making a consistent effort to like see yourself, like, okay, I think about this thing, bro, and I'm not trying to talk too much, but I think about, like, you know how they listen or see underwater. They use the sound wave, right? But you have to put something out to see what's
Mhm.
out there, and then it'll give you a response back, whatever it bounce off of or whatever. So I think that's how relationships are. You put something out, or like not put something out, but like you need something out there to give you the response back so you can see and you can gauge where you are, where they are, where you are, but you need multiples of those for you to actually see yourself. And that's, I
Mhm.
think, that's the beauty of having not just boyfriend girlfriend relationships, but people like,
Yeah.
you know,
Relationships. Yeah.
yeah,
That's one of the things that I learned, man, in my experience is talking with a bunch of different people.
yeah,
You see consistencies that they can see, you know.
oh yeah,
Like you can see a consistency in certain things that they may like point out without realizing that they pointing it out.
right,
And you can
right,
see, this is something that a lot of other people see as well, you
right,
know. So like it may be something like they see a version of myself that I don't see, or
yeah.
like they don't see a version of myself that I see.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that you
saying?
think you're portraying, but
Exactly.
it's not getting
Exactly.
through. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, that's good.
And
That's good.
that
Yeah.
comes with like a lot of like that comes with relationships with a lot of different people.
Yeah, yeah. You
You
can't
know.
just I'm like, yeah, you can't just rely on just one person, because this person sometimes, a person, if they know that they can say something, they probably try to manipulate. But if you have multiple people, you can see, man, is it getting through? Is it getting through? Is it getting through? Like, I'm trying to be patient, but is it getting through? I'm trying to be this, this person, but is it getting through?
Yeah.
And if you ask multiple people, somebody gonna tell you the truth.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
The way I see it is like sometimes like you can have a relationship with one person and they might say something to you, but it might be flawed because they're flawed.
You're all
Or
that.
like
Oh
they
man. Oh, that's
it
good, bro.
might
That's right.
they might say something that's flawed because they're flawed, but they also might say something that's true,
Yeah.
but you may not hear because you know that they're flawed.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then somebody else may say some other things, but say one same thing that that other person said, and then somebody else say the same thing that the other two people said. So that's how it, like me personally, that's how I can see like, all right, this is not just them. This is actually
Right.
true.
This is
You know?
consistent
Yeah,
among. Yeah. 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 I do the same thing, bro. That's
yeah,
weird. Not weird, but that's weird that we both
mhm,
could see do stuff like that. Like I do the same thing. I'm not gonna take one person's perspective. I'm
yeah,
going to see.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna take multiple people's perspective and then build from, okay, you know, everybody is seeing this something.
Mhm,
So I can
mhm.
I can I can take that as valid.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
I can I can definitely take that as valid.
yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm starting to sound like Charles Barkley.
Peterson.
The penis does, the penis does. No. Hey, but no, so look, I would say relationships, not just friendships, but interpersonal relationships. What age? Well, it's hard to say what age, bro. What mentality do you think a person should be at before they jump into a relationship? And I'm gonna tell you why I asked the question. Because I don't think that young people should be in one-on-one relationships. I don't think
Mm,
you should get in your first real relationship until you cross 20 or 21. I think, just like with drinking, you shouldn't be engaging in a relationship, bro.
mm.
Like, what do you think about that?
I mean, I can see some validity to it, but I also think that like I think that you can experience when you're young, like experience liking somebody, you know.
Mhm.
I think that that's a cool experience to have when you like, 16, 17. As far as relationships, I don't know, I can't really say, but I think it mostly depends on like the mindset. It really depends on the mindset of the individuals, man.
But I'm
Because
talking about like love, bro. Like, you in love at 17, bro?
I mean,
I mean, yeah, it can happen,
I'm
but do
not
you
saying it
really
can't
think that
happen,
that's
but
that's healthy though?
I think that it can be, but it's often not, bro. It's often not healthy because a lot of young people don't really have the mindset to make it work, to make it healthy. But a lot of young people don't have the healthy mindset to make it work. But I'm not gonna say you shouldn't do it. I'm not gonna say you shouldn't do it. I'm gonna say if you do it and you're young, it should be with, you know, the right mindset. As with any relationship, I don't think that I don't know. I can't say that they shouldn't do it at a young age, but I should say they shouldn't do it if they have not like observed themselves in any type of capacity. Like if you doing it for the spectacle, you shouldn't be doing it.
But no, okay, so look, okay, remember like a few weeks ago we was at the teenage party, right? And like all the young people was booed up, and I ain't, I'm not wanting to hate. We gonna have fun, we gonna do
Hmm.
that, but then, you know, you want me to ask questions, right? I'm gonna ask questions because I'm saying it, I'm seeing it from I get it, but like there's so many. Look, they go to charge there. That like there are so many unknown variables at 17 that from 17 to 18 are going to change, and then 18 to 19 are going to change, and then you're going to go off to college, or maybe you won't. You don't even know who this person is going to become in the next
Hmm.
2 years. So about that, about going to separate schools, about friends, about friends, about so many other things that factor in. If I don't know, it's like getting a job after school, and you trying to have a relationship with that, or would your love at 17 affect how you make a decision that's going to affect the rest of your life? You get what I'm saying? I mean, I say it from a perspective like that. I encourage against it. I mean, I understand young
Hmm.
people do it, but I
I
don't know.
get it.
I feel like you closer to the age though. You're not too far, but you closer than I am.
Yeah, I think it can be done. I think it can be done. I just think that like it's unlikely just
Mm,
because of the adolescence, man. The lack of like I said before, I think it can be done. I think it
it's
can be
possible.
done. We like, there are people who were high school sweethearts who are like married consistently, But
Still,
yeah,
if
but
you if you if you a high school sweethearts, please let us know about. I was gonna ask you that. How likely, how likely do you think it is for high school sweethearts to actually make it through life together?
I don't think it's likely. It's not likely. It's not very likely. Now, is it possible? Yes,
It's
but
possible, but not likely.
it's not likely. It happens. Like, it happens, but
Okay, but look, I'm talking about we high school sweethearts. We get married, we stay married till death do us part.
yeah, it's not likely.
But it's possible.
Yeah,
Do you know anybody that did
yeah,
that's still together right now?
yeah.
I know. You know what? I
For real.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah,
Our
I know.
cousin.
But that is one relationship, the only relationship for real.
What is that saying though? It's saying that
It's possible,
it's possible, but not
not
likely.
likely. Yeah,
Literally what I was saying.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just like, yeah,
yeah.
you're
That's
right.
the off the top of my head, that's the only one I can think of.
I
Like,
look, and I know people. I know, bro. I know people that was married for 20 some years plus and got divorced, 15 years and just divorced, and they
yeah,
wasn't even high school sweethearts.
yeah. It'd
It's
be
just
like that.
hard.
It'd be like that. I mean, it's hard in general, man. Like it's hard in general, but it's possible. Not likely though.
Not likely.
It's not likely, man. Like it's very, very unlikely, but it is possible.
Yeah, man. That's I don't know the
High
way.
school sweethearts, man. I think a lot of that is for purposes of experience. I think that
Mm.
if I would have waited to get a girlfriend, I wouldn't have known certain things that I know now about how to be a good boyfriend. You know,
Okay,
like I
okay,
made a
okay.
lot of my mistakes when I was a teenager when
Y-
nothing really mattered. But I can't really say when nothing mattered.
Yeah, but I
But
get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. You still like a kid, like not a kid, but you
yeah,
still
but
a
yeah,
you still
like
staying with your mama at that point.
yeah, I made a lot of my mistakes then, and I learned from those mistakes. But the other side of the coin to that is like I caused harm, or
Hmm.
like people caused harm
To you.
to me, and I've caused harm to other people and changed the trajectory of somebody else's life because of
Mm,
that. You know, so like
that's heavy, man.
that's the negative, but it's all an experience. It's all I think some of it is a good experience too. That's why I say like I don't think it shouldn't be done, but I get your point, man. Like I get your point.
Mm.
I'm not gonna say it shouldn't be done, but I would say it's better if the right mindset is had.
But now, you know what? I can get your point too, because you do get a lot of you. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but you do get experience from that relationship.
Mhm.
So it's not just like it's all just terrible, like and I'm not trying to paint it that way, but like you make a good point too when you say there are things that you learn that you can apply now.
Yeah.
That even though it didn't work or however it turned out, there was still lessons that you learned as
Yeah.
far as emotionally intelligence
Yeah.
that you could still apply. So that's how you could say it still was a
Yeah.
good
It's some
thing.
positives to
I
it.
could see that. I could see that. I could see that. And I'm not closed minded on it. I'm not one of those parents that's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just an opinion, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You can have your opinion and not be closed minded.
Yeah, yeah, it is my opinion, but in light of what you said, you right. I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree with that. I can't because you know what? In my younger relationships, I cheated on everybody until I got like until I got married. But I cheated on everybody. I cheated. I cheated. I was just a cheater, and I learned a lot of good lessons. Learned a lot of bad lessons too. But you're right. It gave me a lot of experience in just dealing with women and understanding myself and like processing my mindset. What were the tricks? Just learning from those experiences. But yeah, it definitely did give me a lot of good experiences in my teens.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's valid. I think that's real valid, bro.
Relationships is a complicated thing, man. It's a complicated thing. And
It
to
is.
and to for young people to do it, like people who don't really know who they are yet, it's a recipe for disaster a lot of the times.
Yeah. But, going on what you said, it was still a good experience
Yeah.
to have. Like, it's not a good experience, but like you learn from it. You learn from the experience.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's complicated for people who do know themselves and people who do understand certain things. And just imagine you bringing another person in and you don't know yourself, but then you're trying to learn someone else, and then certain things that are going to happen in your life that you don't know how you're going to respond to. Then they don't know how they're going to respond to that
Mhm.
same thing. And man, y'all got to try to stick together throughout it, man. Like,
It's a hard thing, man.
yeah,
Relationships is hard.
it's real hard.
Relationships is hard, man. It's hard. It's not like it's a hard thing. It's work. It's work. It's work.
Why do people sign up for them then if they so
Because
hard? Why do everybody want to be in one?
because the spectacle of being in love, man. Everybody want love, you know. When you go so long without having somebody to at least feel some kind of affection, it bothers you. And I think
Mm,
that's normal for everybody. I think
hmm
that love is something that you know, people need to experience. People crave to experience. Like as a human race, we crave that. We crave love. So
mm,
a lot of people gravitate towards the relationship thing because like I think that's like the most potent, you
mm.
know.
Yeah.
That's the reason why a lot of people jump in it because it's like, I finally got that thing I've been craving. I'm so happy that I got it now. And that's why a lot of people ignore the nitty-gritty of relationships because like,
Uh, yep,
yeah, yeah,
bypass the real stuff
yeah,
because they want the yeah.
yeah, yeah. I think that's the reason, man. A lot of people jump in because we just want love. Everybody want to be loved deep down, no matter how much we convince ourselves that we don't. I
Mhm.
think that deep down, everybody just wants love and wants to be loved and appreciated.
I could say there was a long period of time after I got my divorce that I didn't want to be loved. I wanted to be appreciated. Whether I was in love or not, I didn't care. I always had to have somebody. So I mean, I could say I wanted to be appreciated, but not up until man recently did I actually want to be loved. I want to be loved. I want to be in love. I want to have a person. But it ain't always been like that. I think my whole 30s was just like I ain't want nothing with me and the woman I was married to when we got divorced, love stay away from me, bro. Like love stay away. I kind of regret it, but I mean, hey, that's just the journey I was on. But I think that you are right. I think there always, even if you don't have that desire, feeling, or craving, the time is gonna come where you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the time is gonna come where you do, and then you're gonna pursue it. But see, okay, what I would say to that is just like love have good stuff, love have bad stuff too.
Yeah.
And like I think you it goes back to what you said earlier about knowing yourself and being able to balance and stabilize your own self because you want the good stuff of love, but the bad stuff of love, bro. Like love make you do crazy things, good and bad. And
Mhm.
I don't think that's one of them things that's really talked about and
Yeah.
discussed, man. How love will have you doing some crazy stuff, but then when you hurt love, it's true what they say. It's a thin line between love and hate because it's not even that it's hate. It's just so much passion and intensity,
Mhm.
and it's displaced when you
Mhm.
if something happens. It's like all of the feelings and emotions are still there, but now it's anger in it, but the intensity is still there.
Yeah.
That's crazy, and if you don't know how to balance that or temper that, you're gonna do some.
That's the complicated thing about love, man.
Yeah,
It's not just
the good.
it's not just one color, it's not just one thing. It's a lot of things that goes into it, man.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a hard thing,
Yeah,
especially when it's not healthy.
yeah,
Especially
man.
when it's not healthy, boy.
Man.
It can get
Yeah.
real ugly. Like
Yeah.
you said, hate love, boy.
You love that person, and then you do. That's what they call, like, in a different state they call it, what is it? Crimes of passion.
Mhm.
They actually equate for crimes of passion because they know
Yeah.
that love is just that strong. I hope I didn't get your they actually equate for crimes of passion because the strength of love is so strong, and then you know having something else mixed in with that, and it's so intense. It's like being angry to an extent that you didn't know that you could get to until you get to it, and then you do something that you didn't know that you could do until you do it.
Mhm.
It's insane, man. It's crazy. I know, man. You know what? Truthfully, man, when I first found out in my situation, my relationship when I was married, and I found out, bruh, Imma tell you, if I woulda had a gun, I would be in jail, bro. I'm serious. Not her. I would never kill her. 'Cause you gotta raise my people. But the other parties that were involved, I said, "Bro, it ain't even God holding me at this point. I just don't know where you at." I just don't know where you at. And he wasn't gonna tell me where he was because I would have done something. But just to have that thought in my brain, bro, I never had that thought about actually doing harm to somebody. To
At
actually
least
like
to that extent.
right,
Yeah.
bro. And I, bro, walk right up to you with a straight face and just boom, and then turn around and get in the car and then leave. Premeditated. It was bad, man. It was bad, and I realized, like, bro, I need to pray. I
Yeah.
need to do something because
Some hard stuff, man.
right, bro. I mean, that's and then look, some guys ain't ready for that, man.
Yeah.
Some dudes ain't ready for that.
Hard, man.
That level of emotion, and then somebody do something to hurt you, and the extent of your love is so vast, and then somebody take that and I don't think that's talked about enough, man.
I don't think it is either.
That's one of those things, man. Yeah, you're right. Everybody want to be in love, but I don't think everybody should be, man. It's too strong.
Yeah.
It's too
I'm
strong.
not mad at that statement at all.
Strong, man. I think it's too strong.
Dang, man. Yeah. Relationships, man. It's one of those things that everybody want, but nobody like. I'm not gonna say nobody. It's one of those things that everybody want, but not a lot of people are prepared for it. Prepared for what it really is.
Hmm.
A lot
Hmm.
of people want the idea of it.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people are prepared for what it really is. What really, what really goes into it. What really goes into keeping something afloat like that.
How would you define what a real relationship is? Like, of course, everybody say, "Oh, just love is blah blah." But in your opinion, what is a real relationship?
I mean, to put it into words, to define it, I think that would be a little hard. I think that my idea of what a relationship
Hmm.
is a union, and in romantic sense, right?
Hmm.
In a union of two people, and they want to do they want to do whatever they need to do to continue loving this person. Like in the simplest
Mm.
forms, I think that that's the simplest way I can describe it. Because I can branch off and you know describe more, but I think that my idea of it could be like defined like that.
Okay,
Like
that look,
I
that's
never I never like tried to define it like that, but I think that that's what a true relationship would look like.
okay.
I think.
I want to say I agree with that. All right, here's another question though. Okay, is love a feeling or is love commitment?
I think that it's a little bit of both, man.
Hmm.
I think that it's both.
What about okay? What about when the feeling goes? Does that at that point, what do you do with the commitment side? Because you're not feeling it no more.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think it's both. I think it's both. Even still, even when I say it's both, I'm not just talking about the thrill of the romance.
Right.
I'm not defining that as the love. I'm defining the love as like I want to see this person. Like if something would have happened to this person, I would be upset. Or like if if I was not with this person, I would be upset. But you can still have thoughts like that. You can still have opposite thoughts of that, and the love still be real. But I think that like the feeling of love is basically like I want to see this person in a good place, and if this person was harmed or like in a bad place, it would bother me.
Mm.
And then like the commitment side is,
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
it's
you
just
know.
different span story. But
So
can it be love if you have one or the other? Is it love if you don't have the love? I mean, if you don't have the feeling, and is it love if you don't have the commitment? Is it still love if you take one of them away and it's just the other one completely?
so
That came to my mind when you said that.
so I think that it can be. I think that it can be. I don't think it's the best type, but I think that it could be. Like from the top of my head, I'm thinking of like a situation where the romance is gone, but the commitment is there. I think that it would still be considered love. And then I think of a situation where the commitment is not there,
But the
but the
feelings are there.
feelings are there. Like people cheating on a person, but still like have a strong feeling towards them. I think that it could be love there, but I think it might be a little different in that sense. But I don't know. I think yes. I think yes. If you take one away, it would still be love, but it wouldn't be as true, I think.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think. I don't. That's. I don't know. Cause look, I'm gonna say this. If you love me, you would be committed. Yeah, I mean, and if you remove the feeling, you can be committed and it still be love, right? But if you had a feeling without the commitment, I would say I don't know if that's love because you could probably just have strong feelings for me, but love, you not gonna do certain things. You not gonna cross that. You not gonna do that. So I would
Mhm.
say I agree partially. I don't agree with if you have the feelings but you don't have the commitment. I don't think that's love, bro. I think your feelings. If you love me or if I love you,
You wouldn't wanna do nothing to hurt me. Yeah,
that would have restraint.
yeah.
You know.
I'm not mad at that. Like, I would say I agree with that. I would say I agree with that for sure.
Yeah. Man, it came to my mind when you said that because, like, you know what? Yeah, sometimes people describe love as this intense feeling, but in the reality, that you only feel that. You feel that. So if I say, "Man, I love you," you're like, "Man, all right, that's what's up." It sounds good to hear, but like, if I never show it, if I never show up, if I never do what I'm supposed to do to prove that, me saying it, it only means something to me when I say it.
Mm.
But if love is actually real, how do you get that love? Is that just good feelings or is that like actually yeah, yeah, yeah. That came to my mind, bro, when you said that. That actually just came to my mind when you said that.
Yeah.
You know, because women to say, if you love me, you wouldn't have cheated on me.
Right.
And every man knows that you can have sex with somebody that you don't love.
Right.
Every man knows that. Women know that. You can have sex with a person that you don't love. People do it every day. But then when you say you love a person, would you still be able to have sex with another person? You think you could do that?
I don't think I could, but I think that other men could, and that's why I had my opinion, because like I think that other men would be able to do that. I think that other men would be able to cheat and still love their girl. Like I think that that's possible, but like back to what you said, I feel like it is valid.
It's
Like if
valid,
you
yeah.
don't if you love me, then you wouldn't want to do nothing to hurt me like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I mean, that's my logic, but I don't feel like everybody had that logic.
Yeah, but then you know what? When the men that say that, the scale is different for the women. What if she say she love you? She just did it to get back at you, but she really love you. You gonna believe that?
I think that it could be some truth in there.
It
Yeah.
could be, but how you gonna feel about that?
I mean, you would be upset. Anybody would be upset at that.
Of course, of course. I don't think. Yeah, I'm gonna stick. I stand by my statement on that one because, like, bro, love has restraint. Love is not gonna push me to do well. You know, this relationship type love. I'm gonna say the
Mhm.
reciprocal kind.
Mhm.
It's not gonna push me to do nothing like okay, you my son, right? And I say I love you, but here I'm gonna knock the head, like I'm gonna punch you in your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna do that.
Eh. Eh.
I mean, if you tripping,
Eh. You can do that and still love. Like kill you. Yeah, I get that. But like you can punch it. You can punch a nigga in the face. You can do that now.
yo, man, I love you.
Nah, you can do that. You can do that for sure.
You know, some chick is gonna be on here like that ain't love. You can't hit nobody and love them because you know the
You
whole
can.
abusive thing.
You can. I love my cousins.
And then boy say, I stand on that.
Yeah, you can.
So you can punch a girl in the face and still love her.
Not a girl.
You can smack her. You can smack her and still love her.
I don't know about that,
But a
in the
dude,
look, in the sense of me and you, yes. Like me and my cousins, we used to fight, but I still love them. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna
But
stock you one good time just so
yeah,
you get it, right?
yeah,
Yeah, okay.
hop in the gloves and box it out. But we
Okay, yeah,
still love
okay,
each
yeah.
other. But
With love, yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
taking this whooping
yeah,
with love though.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah,
In
I
a
get
sense,
that.
but in the sense of a like romantic relationship,
Smack
I
you.
don't know. I don't know.
That's love, bro.
I'm doing this because I love you. Nah, bro. Nah. Yeah, nah. I don't know about that.
Bro, that is funny when you say it. This is the first thing that came to my mind. That episode on Boondock with it.
What?
What's his name? Uncle Ruckus.
Oh,
Uncle Ruckus upbringing. His
oh
daddy, how
yeah,
he
yeah,
smacked
yeah,
his
yeah,
mama,
yeah.
bro. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Like, wow, I love you. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's what's up,
Yeah,
bro. That's
man.
fun. That's
How
fun.
long we doing this episode for?
We almost done. We almost out of time. We doing an hour, a hot. Yeah, yeah. But you know what? I wanted to bring you on to kind of, bring you on again, kind of reintroduce the audience to you. I don't think you've been on this whole year, man.
That's actually true.
Yeah, it's 2025. So I wanted
It's
to,
true.
kind of bring you back on. I'm having recurring episodes, man. I'm trying to just get it boost it up, build it up. And I need that young energy, know what I'm saying? Like I think I have good wisdom, but at the same time, I think you as a young man have good wisdom too, you know? And it's always good to bounce perspectives and just have, regular conversation. It don't have to really be
Yeah,
um too deep or too spiritual or nothing like that. But
yeah, man.
yeah, I
And
think it's good.
we can have like spiritual conversations. We do,
Yeah,
we
we do.
do.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we do. Be off camera.
yeah, yeah. But we can get to that another day.
Okay, so look, I can definitely just pose this question, last question before we go off. What is wrong with the whole spiritual thing now, man? What is stopping? I know I've asked this before.
Man.
What is happening, bro, with the whole I mean, church, I
So
get it, but
I'm
like
a
what is going on?
I'm gonna tell you my idea of it. I think that many people do not have the right understanding of what Christianity is.
Okay.
So like a lot of people put value in things that are not supposed to be the focus in Christianity. So like I hear a lot of people say I stopped going to church because I got judged too much by church people. Or
Mm-hmm.
like I stopped going to church because Christians treated me bad, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, like that is not a reason, like that is not the reason to turn away from God. You know what I'm saying? So like I think that the main thing, the main thing that starts it is a lot of people don't have the right understanding of what Christianity is and what it means to have a relationship with God and what it means to like live for God and what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't have
Mm,
that kind of understanding. And
mm,
then it trickles down into the next generation after, to where like people are no longer teaching their kids, or people are no longer exposing their kids to Christianity. So a lot of the newer generations, like when it comes to religion, they see it as another set of rules to follow. You know,
yeah,
they see it
yeah,
as another set of judgment when they hear that you can't do certain things
yeah,
that are normal. You know,
yeah.
so like I think that a lot of it is that a lot of young people just don't want to be bothered. You know, a lot of people, young people don't want to be bothered. A lot of young people are
Mhm.
not taught like the the values of it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And then a lot of older people have uh I don't want to say wrong, but a lot of older people don't really know the real purpose. You know what I'm saying? A lot of older people know the tradition of it, but
you're
not
right,
the real meat of it, you know?
right.
Yeah. I think that that's the reason. I think that that's the reason, man. A lot of young people, they see how Christians behave and then discredit Christianity because of how Christians behave. In
Yeah,
reality, that's not really you can't judge Christianity based off other people. You know,
yeah,
Christianity is not other people.
yeah.
I mean, it kind of is, but not in that sense.
Right. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I totally get what
That
you're saying.
that's why I say like that's the reason I say for sure. Everybody who claims to not want to go to church or not want to be Christian is because they have a bad understanding of what it is. And I talked to a 60-year-old about this. One of my instructors at school, he was like, I don't even claim to be a Christian no more. And I said, why? And he was like, because every Christian that I've met has done dirt, like done me dirty or done other people dirty or treated
Wow.
people bad. And I'm like, that's not what it means to be a Christian, though. Number
Right.
one. And number two, you not supposed to be following them anyway. You know,
Right.
like
Right. Right. You
everybody has
actually
done.
said it to him?
Yeah. Like I said, like I actually described to him, like I asked him questions, you know, like,
Yeah. Right.
do you
Right. Right.
believe that Jesus is the Son of God? He said,
Right.
yeah. Believe that God raised Jesus from the dead and that Jesus died for our sins. And he said, yeah, to both of those questions. I'm like, by definition, you are a Christian
Right.
because this is what you believe.
Right.
That's what it means to be a Christian. Now,
That's
as
right.
far as living,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? You can't judge, you can't judge Christianity based off another flawed person's attempt to be a
Right.
Christian. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
Christianity is a journey for everybody. Everybody's on a personal journey. So like you can't, you know, you're judging, you're being judgmental.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
you
Right.
know, you know, yeah.
No, you know what? I think that's valid. I think one of the things that you did say that I want to highlight is it has not been modeled well. I think people like they said that they was Christians, but then the kid coming home and they seeing, oh, my mama greedy, or oh, my daddy cheating, or my daddy he don't have his lust under control. My mama she greedy for money, or my mama is manipulative, or you know what I'm saying. But they saying they Christians though, you know. And I've lived with them, and I know my mama. Right now, I've been living with my mama 20 years, and I just moved out, and like now I'm 30 and my mama's been the same, but yet she been going to the church. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like there has been no real change, you know, and
Hmm.
it hasn't been modeled well, like you said. They don't have I can't say it the way you said it, but it hasn't been modeled well. Like for me, I wanted y'all to choose Christianity, not because I forced y'all to do it, but in order for me to teach it to y'all like that, I wanted to say, can I ask the hard questions? Why? Why is this something that I need to pass down? Why is this important for them? If I don't see it in me, why would I tell or teach it to my kids, you know? And then once I did see the validity, I never said, God wants you to do this. The Bible says that I have never done that to y'all. Like the Bible says, respect your parents or, you know, honor your mom. And that. I never used the Bible as a reason why you should do anything. I've never used that, even though it probably be the backdrop, but I never made
You
that.
never weaponized it. Yeah.
Yes, right, right, right. I never weaponized do this because I'm your daddy. I never weaponized my position. I never weaponized my title. I never weaponized the Bible. And so I think because I did it that way, y'all developed a certain level of respect, because it's not like I'm telling you to do this. I'm telling you this is wise for your life. And then when you
Mhm.
read this book, you see, dang, this is actually wise. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think for me, what I got a better understanding of what real Christianity was when I was young, and we would go to churches, and like we would see certain behaviors in the church,
Yeah.
and like you would be like, you know, the Bible don't say
Yeah.
that. Like I remember you would be like, the Bible don't say that.
Yeah,
The
right.
Bible don't say that that's important. Or
Right.
like, you know, that's not really important to God. Like
Yeah.
God never said that. God
Yeah.
never said that he cared about that. So
Right.
I'm like, so hold on, like these people really doing this,
Yep.
and apparently it's not really important in the grand scheme of things. So
Yep.
that's when I was like, all right, some of this stuff might be theatrics. And then like I
It
started
is.
paying more attention to it, and then you would say more things about it, and you would be like, all right, that's not really you would basically say like, all right, some of these things that they doing, it's not really like it don't say to do that.
Right. Yeah.
It don't
Okay.
say to do that.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
So
I get it.
I would hear that, and I'd be like, all right, some of this stuff might be actually a little off,
Yeah.
because
Man.
if I wouldn't have had that perspective, I would have been going in thinking that the stuff that they were saying
Right.
was the stuff that God said to do and not do, or like
Right.
the stuff that God cared about. So like I think that having you to be like, yeah, they just they doing that for them,
Right.
like they not God
That's
never
not
said to do
right.
that.
Right.
Like,
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
So
Okay. Okay. I
that
get that.
really helped me like to put in perspective, all right, not all of this, not all of them is from God. Like not everything that I'm seeing going on right here
Yeah.
is God's words, like do this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is not all of this is important. And that
Yeah.
that helped me really like value the right things when it comes to Christianity.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I probably would have been like more lost, you
Yeah.
know.
See, that's exactly my point, bro. That's exactly my point. I think a lot of young people with good hearts turn out lost because
Because
they
of that.
don't. Yes, they don't have a right representation. They don't have a right idea of what it actually is. They can't decipher what God actually wants, or what this person actually wants,
What the preacher trying to like,
bro. Like,
yeah.
look, like it's a story in the Bible where like this prophet is like Elijah is like this lady. He asked her like, bake me some bake me some cake first,
Mhm.
and then God said like, boom, your house is never gonna go empty. Most preachers would preach that, give your money to the man of God. You should bless the man of God, overlooking the fact that even if he wasn't the man of God, the principle of that is like, bro, sharing. Like, you
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
like
Like, even if he wasn't the man of God, like, bro, if you see somebody that needs your help, help them. And then my job favors that. But
mhm.
they wouldn't teach that. I'm sorry.
They don't teach compassion.
Right. So
Yeah,
you teaching it from a title perspective, but really the essence of it is, bro, my job care about how you treat people. Boom. That's the
exactly,
principle.
exactly. That's the principle of the whole thing.
But you see, but that's where it would be twisted
Yeah,
to make it seem like he's saying this, when really,
yeah.
if you really look at what his true essence is, what he really respects, what he really requires, what he really and that's exactly the reason why I'm so off. What I love my job, but like religion and these traditions and wear this on this certain day. You gotta wear this, so God is not gonna be happy. You gotta come on,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
I just, yeah. I didn't want y'all to be. I don't want y'all to be lost. I wanted y'all to make a good. I wanted y'all to make sound, solid decisions. And I learned, man. I would blindly follow preachers, man, pastors. I would blindly follow them, give them my whole trust, and then realize, are you just trying to manipulate me, bro?
Mhm.
You trying to make me a pawn. You trying to
Yeah.
you. And then I read and I study like, why is he saying that? I'm like,
For real,
this
like,
don't even.
why is he saying that?
Yeah, why is he making a big deal about that? I heard this preacher get up at church one day and he was like, God care about the amount of money that you give. God care about the amount. You need to have an amount. Like, we need y'all to give such and such. God don't care about that. God cares about the amount. And then I'm looking at, the story in the Bible where the men was dropping off all their big money, and then the woman comes and drop off 2 pennies, and Jesus, our Lord, no, I'm your Lord, our Lord and Savior say, this woman has given more than all these other men. That don't say amount to me. That
Mm-hmm.
say intent.
Mm-hmm.
And so like to get off of that's really low key greed. I'm trying to manipulate your good intentions to make you give me something that you shouldn't be giving, but I want your money. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think that's the kind of stuff that it just makes the church
Yeah.
look bad.
It
It
made
makes
the church
Christianity
look
look
bad,
bad.
made Christians look bad. Yeah.
Bro, I asked Dion, like, bro, what do you think would make young men go to church? He was like, bro, ain't no young dude trying to sit through no service. And I'm
That's the
like, you right,
truth.
bro.
That's
You
the
right.
truth.
You right.
Truth, man. Yeah. I think it's I'm not saying that it can't be done if you're not taught the faith at a young age, because there are people who
The right
come
way though.
into the faith at like later on in life. There
Yeah.
are people who come into the faith later on in life, people who find God, but I think that there's a better chance of somebody learning the truth of it if they're familiar with it at a young age. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why a lot of young people not trying to go into church, because like they don't really go to church. A lot of they don't know what to do in church.
Sad,
And
man.
you can see it. You don't have no church etiquette,
Bro.
walking out through the yeah, man. Like, don't have no church etiquette. You could tell they ain't never been in no church for real. So it's just a weird place for them at
Yeah.
that point. It's just weird.
Yeah. You know what? I invited one of my friends to church and he was like, man, I enjoyed the service. And I was like, what did you like the most about it? And he was like, because I just came in the back and I sat down and I ain't had to do nothing. When it was time to go, I got up and left. Like it wasn't like I had to do anything.
Yeah,
Okay, I mean that's good. You don't have to do nothing. Just
yeah.
come and
You
enjoy.
don't.
Like if you don't give, I ain't gonna criticize you. I'm
Yeah.
not one of those. God, no, you need to give it. Come on, bro. No, they don't. That's not even it. Like, did you know,
They love to use the Willie Man Rob guy.
bro? Come on, bro. You can look. You know what? You could actually give, and this is a true statement, bro. And I'm not trying to mess up nobody's mind about tithing, right? But you could actually give to a nonprofit that you believe in, and it'll still consider the tithe. They ain't gonna teach you that because they need your money, as opposed to just saying, "Look, God don't need your money, but the church do.
Right.
We do need your money because we need to pay our light bill. Some churches have mortgages, some churches have water bills, gas, whatever. Or we're trying to do this thing for the summer, so we do need your funds
Yeah.
to instead of saying that." They use that, well, a man robbed God. God ain't gonna bless your money if you don't give it to the church.
Yeah.
Just stop saying that, bro.
And you're making it look bad.
I mean, in my
Making
opinion.
it look bad, man.
Yeah.
The and then like the thing about it, man, is like a lot of people a lot of people see that like sacrifice and tithing, they only see it as monetary, like they only see it with
Yes.
money. But
Yes.
that's not even like that's not the only way to sacrifice for God.
Come
Like
on, bro.
that's
Yeah.
not the point of it. The point of it is not money.
Right.
Like me personally, I
Right.
think that I think that that is the sacrifice for people with greed. Like
That's heavy.
people who not really comfortable giving money away.
Yeah.
I think that that's like a good that is placed for people who have selfishness with their money.
Yeah. The
It's
love of
also
money.
it's
Yeah.
also for the church because the church needs it.
Right.
But I think that a lot of the emphasis is put on the money for the people who are selfish with money.
Right.
But that's not like it's not all about money. Like tithing and sacrifice is not all about money.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I love to teach the principle of I think that God would more appreciate you fasting. Or if you say you have an issue with, let's say, whatever it is, drinking,
Mhm.
go a week without drinking. If smoking is your thing, go a week without smoking. I think he would appreciate that more than you putting yourself in debt or going behind trying to give your tithes. Give five. You can afford to give the five consistently. Give your five consistently. But I think God would appreciate you like cutting off the cigarettes
Yeah.
or cutting off the vape, cutting off the weed, cutting off something like that. I think he would appreciate that more
Right.
than you giving this
Right.
whatever you
And
feel.
then doing it for the right reasons, man.
Yeah.
Doing it for the right reasons.
Come on, right.
Like a lot of well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but my mindset when I was a kid, I had the mindset of like give my money to God and He will give me back.
Right.
Like I saw it as an investment. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
saw it
That's how
like
it's taught, though. That's how it's
that's the
taught.
thing. That's the thing, bro. That's the thing.
Yeah. That's true.
Manipulation.
That's true. The Bible never encourages that though. Like you give out of. It's just like me giving the same way I put the church. I would put a nonprofit organization. I would give to a nonprofit organization because I feel like they're going to take that money and use it for the reason that I gave it.
Yeah.
And I believe in a cause. I know certain people got to get paid, but I believe in what y'all doing. So let me go ahead and support that. If I can't say that about your church, I'm not giving in it. And you can't make me feel guilty about not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So like, but it's the same concept though. It's the same concept. Like that's actually what it is. It's just me believing and supporting in what you're doing. And it actually is easier to give to a nonprofit because at least they have a goal and the state holds them accountable. Whereas with the church, you really just got to low key trust the leader. You got to trust that the person in head is making sure that the money is being allocated the way that it's supposed to. And it's kind of hard, man. You
Yeah.
see greed, you see lust, you see so many things, man, that turn people off. That whole spiritual side, that is a whole nother conversation.
It
But
is. It is.
I
It
gotta say,
is.
man, I'm glad that you got the right perspective. And I've never forced y'all to be Christians. I've never forced y'all to claim nothing about God. I mean, I've always said, I mean, you got to go to a service. If you at my house, you got to go somewhere. If you don't go to my church, you don't go to the church I'm playing at, you got to go somewhere on Sunday. But yeah, I'm not forcing you to say you're a Christian. I'm not forcing you to believe like I believe. Just look at the facts, do your own research, and come to your own conclusion. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I think again, I'm gonna go back to that being modeled in front of you. Y'all have seen me grow and change and learn and make better decisions. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not the same that I used to be. I used to have lust, but I don't have it no more. I used to be mean and angry. I'm not that no more. I used to smoke. I don't do that no more. Certain things that I used to continue in, I don't do that no more. So y'all were able to actually see the progression and the change and the growth. And I think that does have an effect on not just you, but your brothers and sisters and what they think or what they see or what they believe about church. But of course, it's individual. But yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? We went a little bit over the time, but that's okay. You got anything that you want to say to conclude?
Uh, I put out an EP, like 5 or 6 songs. DJ Stewart Music. Check it out. It's called the Euphoria Arc.
Okay.
Nice. It's a small narrative there. It's a little adventure.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. You know what? I love music when you can listen to it and it kind of takes you on a ride. I like that. I
Yeah.
like that. I can follow along with what you're saying. You ain't just doing beats over mumble rap. Yeah. Some of the beats be good, but you can't tell what they saying, just a good beat. But now I like that you can, boom, I can follow you. Okay, what is he saying right here? You know what I'm saying? That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's all I got too, man. I want to say thank y'all for watching, bro. Like, I got a whole lot more good episodes coming. My boy DJ is gonna be back again. It ain't gonna be such a long time between this time and next
It's all
time.
right. It's all right.
It ain't gonna be such a long time. Yeah, but I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, just go and hit the like button. I'm trying to just do something for our young fellas. Our young fellas out there. Maybe you need a little bit of guidance. Maybe you just need a dude that's gonna tell you something real. Somebody that's gonna speak like something real, something genuine. But no, keep it from going on too long. Thank you, DJ, for being the guest today. Thank y'all for watching. Oh, let me also remind you, this is actually a podcast, so you can listen to this wherever podcasts are streamed: Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon Music. You can listen to this as a podcast, so it's actually going to be out. So again, I want to say thank y'all so much for watching. I'll see y'all next Friday. We dropping. We're gonna also be doing some late night lives on Thursday, so y'all be on the lookout for that. I do want to bring y'all on so y'all can be a guest on the show on the late night lives. But with that, that's all I got, man. I want to say thank y'all again for watching. And guess what? We are going offline. I'll see y'all boys next Friday. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed, my guy.